All right, welcome back, my dear student. So now we have created this view, all right, in the views folder. So we have the layouts, and then we created this main.php, which is going to be a view, of course. All right. So let's go to our controller home right now. Right now, home is actually displaying this view, home view. All right. So we're going to change this a little bit. What I want to do is I want to have a data array here, and I want this data array to have something called main, which is going to be basically the main content. All right. And this main content is going to be the name of our view, which is, let's just actually call it home view. All right. There we go. All right. So we have the home view, which we are going to be actually loading from this home controller. So now we are loading this here, and what we need to do is change this to say layouts main, and I'll tell you in a minute exactly what we're doing, and then we pass in this data. All right, hopefully you understand exactly what we're doing here. All right, we're gonna pass in this data, all right, array, which is gonna turn into a variable called main. All right, and then when we pass in that, it's gonna say home view. So from this main.php, we can load in that home view wherever we want. All right, we just have to use that this function right here, this code. All right, that's all we got to use in that section there. All right, to load in that. So let's actually do it so that way you can see what I'm talking about. Let's go into layouts and then main, and here we're gonna create a div with a container class. This is a bootstrap class that would just make everything, makes everything look very good when it comes to giving the size a little margin, and giving the right side a little margin and the left side a little margin. That way everything is kind of center out. All right, so it's just like a wrapper. All right, so that's what this class is doing. Then I'm going to create a div with a class of call XS3. This is gonna be our sidebar. All right, it's gonna have maybe I say around 33%, I believe, maybe 16% of the page real estate. All right, so, and then this class, and this is our all bootstrap classes, by the way. Then I'm gonna say XS9, because 9 and 3 equals 12, and bootstrap is a 12 grid column system, which means that it's gonna be 12 columns across. All right, so if you split this in half, 5 and 5, this would be half, and this would be half of the screen. All right, so just to give an idea for those of you that don't know how to use bootstrap, which I have a course on, by the way. All right, you should take that course. Anyway, so here I'm gonna load in our main content. So I'm gonna say, this is the way I'm gonna do it. This, oops, load, and we're gonna load in the view. And remember that the view right now is called main. Let's go to home. As you can see right now is main. All right, and let's call this main view. Actually, let's just call it main view so that way we know exactly what it is. Main view. There we go. All right, let's make sure it's in the right directory. All right, data view, main view. All right, let's go in and write something in this home view just to make sure. All right, so if we go to our home application, let's check that out. We should see that anyways, and we should see the layout really a little structure because of bootstrap. So localhost CI, right, then our index.php and home. All right, we got call identifying function base URL. All right, this base URL is not working, and that's because we don't have that helper. And I'm going to show you how to actually make that work. And I'm showing you this as we go. All right, let's go to application, config, and then here on configuration right now. Let's see if this helper is right here. As long as I can remember, auto load. Let's see. All right, auto load, and then here in the mine is on line 86. We're gonna say URL. All right, so we're gonna this helper here on 86. What this is doing is actually loading a lot of functions that we are going to be using. All right, it's gonna load in all the helper functions, so that way we can use them. And one of them is called the URL, and that's the one that we are using in main right here, base URL. All right, so once we load it in, we're good to go. Save. Now let's go and check this out. Enter. And now, as you can see, it says hello, this is a view. And as you can see, this is right in the center, which means that Bootstrap is active. All right, so now if we check page resources, if I can find it right here, page source, by right clicking, you can see that everything out is finding the base URL, localhost CI. So CodeIgniter was able to find the base URL, but it's a good idea, like I said, to actually type in your base URL, type it in this config file right here, config.php, and just paste it in there. And for those of you that are a little bit more technical inclined, right, more code geeks, you can put a condition here with a magic constant. All right, so that's up to you, and that's a little bit more advanced right now than what I want to show you. All right, because this is a beginner's course. Maybe later on, as we go along, we can create these conditions here if you don't figure it out by then. All right, all right, so we know this is working, and the next step is to actually load in a sidebar here, and this is what we're going to be using to log in into our application. All right, so anyway, thank you so much for watching this, and hopefully you learn a lot and you enjoy this lecture like I enjoyed teaching it to you. Keep awake, don't fall asleep, and continue with the course. Take care, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.